Hello class, welcome back. Last class we discussed about nutrition in animals, how our plants obtain their food or how animals obtain their food, nutrition in animals. So animals take or obtain their food by killing the and other animals and eating it either in a raw, right? Like tiger, like lion, okay. So and the other animals which eat grass, they obtain their food by eating the grass, green plants, and some other organisms they eat by eat the decayed animals or plants. Decayed organisms eat decayed organisms like parasites. So we'll see today how do plants obtain their food. As we know that animals cannot make their own food, they depend on the food that comes from the plants or from other animals. For example, human beings eat food like wheat, rice, pulses and vegetables which are obtained from plants. Men also eat food like chickens, eggs, meat, milk and fish. All these are obtained from other animals. So we can take the basic example of us human beings. We take other organisms, okay, like chicken, fish, meat, goat, okay. So these are the things which are obtained from other animals. Then we eat plants like rice, wheat, pulses, potato or pumpkin. Okay, these are the things which are obtained from the green plants. So many animals obtain their food by eating the flesh of other animals. For example, the big fish obtain their food by eating small fish. Birds eat worms. Snake eats frogs and frogs eat insects and insects eat dead bodies of animals. There are some plants will also obtain their food from insects. For example, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. So these all things comes under the food chain. You know food chain. Food chain is a type where one organism eat the other organism and that organism is eaten by the other organisms. Okay, so from higher organisms to the lower organisms they go and eating, okay, till smallest insect eat the dead animals or dead plants. So these are under the food chains, like big fish eat small fish, then that small fish are eaten by the birds eat worms, then insects or snake eat frogs, frogs eat insects, and insect eat dead organisms. So even some plants eat the other organisms like pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. So these two plants they consume other organisms. Okay. On the basis of their food habitat, animals can be divided into three groups: herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Number one, herbivorous. Animals that eat only plants or their parts like grass, leaves, grains, fruits, etc. are called herbivorous. Example: cow, deer, goat, horse, camel, buffalo and ox are herbivorous animals. So pet animals, okay, domestic animals, mostly domestic animals, they consume the green plants. they does not consume other organisms. They consume only green plants. And these herbivores, they does not depend on other organisms or other animals to live. They only need plants. Okay, they consume only green plants. That is what herbivorous. Herb means plant. Now comes to the carnivorous. Here carnivorous means animals which consume other animals. Okay, an animal whose diet consists mainly of meat is called a carnivore. Most carnivore animals are predators and survive by hunting other animals. They have strong jaws and well-developed canine teeth. Lion, tiger, frog, vulture, lizard, snake, etc. are few carnivores. So these carnivores, they mainly depends on other animals. Okay, they are a hunter. Okay, they look for their prey. They hide. You know how the tiger chases deer, right? They used to hide, and when the deer comes, they used to chase the deer and attack the deer. And after killing it, they consume the meat of the deer by flesh, raw. So this type of organisms are called carnivores, which depends on other beings or other animals. Omnivorous. Animals that eat both plants and animals are known as omnivores. Omnivorous animals include humans, hedgehogs, bears, and many other kinds of mammals, and birds like crow, sparrow, etc. Now comes to the third point, omnivores. So these omnivores are organisms which depends on both either animals and either plants. They does not only depend on the one thing, they depend on both things. So if you know human beings, take a most basic example of human beings. Human beings can survive even without the meat, right? Or human being can survive even without the vegetables, right? So these types of organisms are known as omnivores. Plants, autotrophs, usually utilize the energy of the sun to make their food by the process of photosynthesis. This food is utilized by the plants for maintaining life. These plants are eaten up by the herbivores and omnivores. The carnivores eat herbivores. In this way, it is the energy of the sun which provides food directly or indirectly to the living beings. Now see, plants, the first thing they require in their making food is sunlight, photosynthesis, right? So this photosynthesis, after converting into the food, the plants survive. If there is no photosynthesis, the plants will die, right? So this sunlight comes, and when the sunlight comes, the plants make the food. And after making the food, the plants is eaten up by the herbivores like goat, buffalo, ox, okay, or other domestic animals. Okay. And these things which is eaten up by the animals, okay, herbivores, they eat herbivores, right? Then comes carnivores. These carnivores attacks the herbivores, which herbivorous animals like deer, goat, etc. So these carnivores attack the herbivores. Then comes the omnivores, right? Omnivores eat either carnivores or herbivores. So now you see the sunlight which comes directly to the plants, the energy is distributed from the herbivores to carnivores to omnivores. Now this sun provides energy directly or indirectly to all the living beings. An organism either makes its food from raw materials as green plants do, or take in ready-made food as animals do. The process of intake and utilization of raw materials by living organisms for various metabolic activities is called nutrition. We will now discuss animal nutrition in detail. So, an organism can be eaten the food directly or ready-made or indirectly, right? And so the plants require food, and when the food is ingested in our in our body, and different process occurs in different area of our body, like our mouth act as an ingestive, our stomach as an digestive tract. Okay, so these things are called as nutrition. After the food is ingested, the food is to be digested, processed, and then sent to every part of our body. Now next class we will discuss about the digestive or nutrition in animals.